Hi, I'm Bran, and I love Hallmark Christmas movies.
Hey, I'm Panda, and I like Hallmark Christmas movies.
I'm Dan, and I despise Hallmark Christmas movies.
And I'm Dale from Communities in Schools, and I love Hallmark Christmas movies.
And this is the Deck the Hallmark podcast. Boy,
oh boy.
we did it. It
feels
is
good.
Wednesday of a marathon
Can
week.
you believe it? We are less than a week.
Dude,
till
we are
Christmas.
inside.
Oh my gosh.
We've watched over 30 movies.
We've watched over 30 movies, but we're less than a week from Christmas. The
And
big
that's,
day.
yeah. The
Dan,
problem is, and this is taken, I love Christmas, but this is taken a little bit away because now I'm just counting how many movies I have left.
Have you gotten your
instead
Christmas
of-
shopping then?
What were we going to say?
Done.
Okay.
Done. That was the trouble.
I've gotten some of it done.
What'd you get me?
I'm not going to tell you. I don't want to ruin the surprise.
You got us something?
I did.
I do need to know.
No, I did. I got you both something, but I don't want to tell you.
That's pretty special.
We'll have an
Well, do
opening
I need
party.
to get something?
Maybe.
My budget's very small
We'll
this
see.
year.
What I will tell you is this, is they do have Kringles in Greenville, and on Wednesday when we record, which is later on tonight, we're going to put it in the oven for 3 minutes, and we're going to eat that bad boy.
Oh, boy.
Dude, we're going
Kringles
to
all
try a
around.
Kringle. It's going to be awesome.
Hey, guys.
Yeah.
Kringles.
Kringles.
Kringles to you.
You're right.
A couple of things real quick. One thing we discovered is that all of our iTunes reviews are just gone.
It's unreal.
And so if we want to make it to 1,000 by the 31st of some month, we need to step it up.
Because they just disappeared.
This is real story. We had
were so
893 iTunes reviews.
The other day I looked and I was like, we might get to the 1,000 by 31st.
That's right.
Now we're like
We're at 470.
don't know where they all went. Johnny iTunes, where you at?
Hello.
Johnny. where
How's
they-
your mother?
She's fine. Where they
I
at?
told you, back of a truck, you never know, New York.
I need you to stop taking our reviews.
You want some fish? I got some salmon.
Thank
It's
you,
good
Johnny.
salmon.
Hey, Johnny, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, you filthy animal. Hey,
I hate that guy. He's the worst part of what we do.
I don't know why you keep asking.
I don't
for
know.
him.
I
we
like
keep
them
him
too
on
at
the
same
line,
time.
I
It's hard.
guess. Yeah.
So please help us to get to the 1,000 by
Rate and
31st.
reviews, for the
we
love
need a
of
lot
God.
of help. So
Please do it.
Go do that. Tell your friends and tell your
for the
neighbors.
kids.
Another thing. Apparently, we're going to be back on the Good Morning Americas on
We are.
Christmas Day.
Christmas Day.
So if you're looking for something to do on the 25th of December,
If your
you're like,
calendar's
man,
open.
if you wake up and you're like, boy, I don't have anything to do today, turn on to
ABC.
ABC. And,
We don't know when it airs.
We don't know when it airs.
In the morning sometime.
And so look forward to that.
We are 100% thrilled to have with us live in the studio, Dale from the studio. Dale from Communities in Schools, the CEO
Watch
of
it.
Communities in Schools, an organization we've been partnering with and talking about for a long, long time. Dale, how you doing?
Dale Aficionado. That's your name, right?
Close enough. That's close enough.
Right. Dale, tell us a little bit about yourself and about Communities in Schools, and thank you so much for joining us.
You bet. Thanks for having me. I'm a big fan of the podcast, and as I said, I'm a big fan of Hallmark movies. Communities in Schools is really thankful to partner with you guys. As you've been telling your listeners, we're in about half the country, 2,300 schools spread across 25 states in the District of Columbia. We work with really some of the nation's most at-risk kids. We're at our core a dropout prevention program, but we're really much more than that. We believe that by placing a trained, caring adult inside schools, we help kids who might be struggling at home for food, clothing, and shelter. They might need medical care. Increasingly, kids today have issues with mental health and trauma, and our folks are there for them, building that relationship. So we do a lot more than dropout work. We really support kids by providing a network for them and often for their families as well.
Love it.
Guys, people in the United States agree on very little, but they all agree to support the troops and that our education system needs reform. And it is so cool to meet a guy who's in charge of the answer to that big quandary that everyone agrees needs fixing, but no one really has their finger on the button of how to do that. Well, Communities in Schools is that answer that everybody can agree on. There's nobody that's going to disagree with this. This is for everyone. If you're in school, if you graduated from school, give somebody else that opportunity. Do that by helping out in your community. Be a part of your community, but also go to their website. See if you're a teacher, see how you can help out or bring Communities in Schools to your school. Or lastly, go to deckthehallmark.com/joy and give. And that donation donation is going to be matched up to $50,000. So you guys have given already. We would appreciate you continue to give in the future, and we're thankful. And Dale's not only here to talk about communities in schools, he's here to talk Hallmark movies too.
Yes.
So as we get going, Dale is in. He has taken notes. He has watched the movie. We are ready to go.
Real quick, Dale, you said you love the Hallmark movies, and
do.
you were telling us before we started recording that you watch these every year. Like, this is your thing. So tell everybody about your history maybe with these Hallmark Christmas movies.
You bet. So I guess if I have to start somewhere, my parents literally met at a Christmas Eve dance in 1948.
Oh, boy.
And they got married 1 year later. So I kind of grew up with that
Did they get
tradition.
married on Christmas
They
Eve?
got married January 2nd.
Okay.
So
Okay.
close.
Yeah.
And they always celebrated on New Year's Day. So
Love it.
I grew up with that story. And I grew up reading my mother's Castaway romance novels.
Oh, my goodness.
That's all a Hallmark novel is a romance novel. Perfect construction, 3 acts, something bad happens or kind of bad happens. I probably started watching these movies 8 or 9 years ago, and I just got addicted.
So you've
I
seen the
talk about
progression
them.
of these
I have.
movies and the
I'd
popularity.
watch them in July when it's Christmas in July,
course.
and then I expanded to Valentine's Day and autumn.
Now,
whatever.
I have never done the Valentine's Day. I have a feeling we're probably going to have
We
to
may
do it.
have to
I
do a
have a
review of
feeling
this.
you'll be decking the Hallmark on February 14th.
So
We'll see how it goes. But
That
we're
just
excited.
made me sick to my stomach. Just a little bit.
Hey, take January off. We'll see what happens.
That's happening for sure.
Well, we're excited to talk about Welcome to Christmas. This week, for whatever reason, the past two, like, the movies we're doing this week are very like this Christmas. And I had a hard time
Entertaining
I had a hard time keeping them straight, and so we're going to see how this goes. This is Welcome to Christmas. It originally aired on December 9th, 2018, and I went a little something like this. The movie starts with our leading gal, Madison, who's too committed to getting a new ski lodge in Mountain Park to care about Christmas. Enter Christmas, Colorado, a Christmassy town that was slowly losing its Christmas spirit. The answer? Maybe a new ski lodge. So the town is offering Madison's company new incentives for the ski lodge to be built there. So Madison's boss asked her to go visit Christmas, Colorado, before they decide whether or not they should go to Mountain Park. Should they put it in Mountain Park or should they put it in Christmas? Let's find out. We meet Gage, the town... Sorry. It's a great name.
Oh, Gage.
The town sheriff, who feels like he might be in need of a fresh start, maybe in a big city like Denver. But his mom is like, if they build a ski resort here, there's no need to go to Denver. Madison is driving into town and she hits some ice and she drives into the Welcome to Christmas sign. So Gage goes to check on the crash and she's like, I'm here for meetings and I don't really care about this meeting, blah, blah, blah. And once Madison finds out that Gage is from Christmas, she's like, listen, it's not personal, it's just business. I'm not interested in bringing the ski resort here, but I'll just hear you out. So unfortunately, her car isn't going to be fixed for a few days because it's Hallmark. So she has to stay in town of Christmas for the weekend. So the town decides to really do it up and bring back the Festival of Lights that hasn't been around for a few years to try to impress her. So the town goes all out in an attempt to show her what a town with real Christmas magic looks like, even though the town hasn't had any real magic in years. We find out that Gage lost his his wife a few years ago. So he's been raising his 2 daughters by himself, and Maddie finds her getting close to the teenage girl. And even though she enjoys spending time with them and with the city, she still doesn't think that the town is the right fit. But her car still isn't ready, so she has to stay a little bit longer and Christmas and get to know the town of Christmas. So she helps Gage make some Christmas ornaments for the town ornament hunt, helps the daughter find a perfect Christmas tree, and even talks about not being able to find the right person in life to spend her life with. So she's really just getting close to this family. And after they win the ornament hunt, Maddie and Gage share a really intense hug. Like, it was very intense. They really went for it. They really like winning. After all the Christmas cheer and obviously falling in love with Gage, Maddie begins to change her mind. Maybe Christmas is the right spot for the resort. So Maddie accidentally lets it slip that Gage is considering a job in Denver. And while it doesn't really sound like a big deal, it is a huge deal because it's Hallmark, and we know that that's going to be a big confusing argument in about 10 minutes or so. Maddie gets a call from her boss, and he says that he has decided that the resort is coming to Christmas, which is great. But she finds out that what that means is that the town is going to change a bit, and it's going to become bigger, more modern version of Christmas. So she decides to do a little bit of research and finds that the small towns that open resorts are actually end up closing a lot of the mom and pop shops, and so she's like, maybe this isn't the best thing. And so she calls her boss and says she doesn't think that Christmas is the right place because it would ruin the character of Christmas, Colorado. So the annual Christmas fair comes around, and they invite Maddie to the stage to give her a key to the city, and she uses that time to tell everybody that she doesn't think it's a good idea for the resort to come, and everybody's like, let's kill her. And then somebody brings up out of nowhere, hey, what about Gage's job in Denver? And he's like, how'd they know that? So he storms out. There, 10 minutes. Maddie decides to leave, but not before the daughter gives her a Christmas gift, and the town realizes, though, that even though they did all of those old traditions to try to convince Maddie, they really reminded themselves of who they really are, Christmas, Colorado. Maddie comes up with an idea. Instead of a ski resort, they're going to invest, the ski resort company is going to invest in the town of Christmas all year. And so she wants to oversee the project herself, so she's staying. Maddie and Gage make up, and they make out. And that, my friends, is Welcome to Christmas.
We did it.
I had to scroll back to the top because I forgot what the name of the movie.
Don't worry. Had your back there, buddy.
Christmas, Colorado. Very confusing. I'm like,
Wow.
they're saving Christmas, Colorado.
No.
Very
Yeah.
confusing.
But city and a thing.
We have 4 segments on this show. We always
surely
start with
do.
the hot take, which is where we share what we thought about the movie, and I always start with my good friend Panda. Panda, hi.
Hey, buddy.
Good to see you.
It's good seeing you too. Here's the thing. I like this movie, but now this is the second movie we've seen this Hallmark season where a city holds somebody hostage.
Yeah. And it's not the last, by the way.
No, you're right. And it's unsettling. I've got to be perfectly honest with you. This movie's weird. It hits a lot of notes for me that I really like. There were a lot of scenes where I like the lead actor and actress. I thought that the town was great. I love a good Christmas town. It was called Christmas. I mean, you can't get more Christmassy than that. But at the end, I found this movie kind of unsatisfying in terms of resolution and just the entire logic behind the movie. This might shock people. Hallmark movie breaks down into logic, but this one seems to be more so in logic breaking down. We'll dive more into that later. But I mean, for me, it was fine.
Hallmark has proved once and for all that you just can't find an honest mechanic.
No, you can't.
In a small town. We can save that for later, but you're 100% right.
Yeah.
Dale, welcome. Tell everybody what you thought.
You bet. So I'm embarrassed to say that I did not love this movie.
Oh, no.
Right?
Dale.
This is my one chance. And
And you got to choose the movie you wanted to do.
I did. I liked it. Same thing. I like the lead. I'm a big Eric Mabius fan. I like the actress as well. But they never quite put it together. The story's not there. Even though they got the line in, the ski resort might just be the Christmas miracle that we've been waiting for. That's not easy to do, but they managed it. The rest of the story, I have to say I wanted more from Hallmark.
I don't want to be a broken record, but I'm with him here. It was a fine movie. I enjoyed while I was watching it. I found myself enjoying the characters more than I thought that I would at the beginning of the movie. But the bow at the end was barely tied. It's like, oh man, it could come out. It could if I drop the box, it's gonna. And so,
the end of this movie is just a wait what. Just a big
huge.
So for that reason, it's not on any sort of top list for me. It's just fine. Dan?
Yeah, there's a scene in this movie where there's a computer screen and they're showing a bar graph, and it just says positive trends. And then there are a bunch of bright like colors and bars, and there's no numbers on them, and then there's no letters on the vertical or the horizontal axes at all. And it just says positive trends, and the bars aren't even trending upward. That's pretty much this movie. Like there's a lot of bright colors, but none of it really makes any sense at all. And it just is one of these things where it is kind of another horror movie, and the mechanic's out to get you and is lying about.
It's less creepy than a Veterans Christmas the way they do it.
Oh, for sure. That's Alfred Hitchcock. Like,
Right,
that's
you're right.
like true.
This is
horror.
like light scares.
That's right. Yeah. This was like it could go either way.
Yeah, she did run into a sign.
Yeah.
So it is plausible.
Yeah.
Not likely, but it is plausible
it's
that
always
once
this-
they get in there, it's like, oh,
It's always this weird thing where the mechanic starts to say something, and the guy's behind him like, no. He's like, it could be ready by fresh and ready to go by a week from Tuesday of next. Like, what are you doing right now?
This mechanic can't even plug in the Christmas lights.
That's true. That's true.
There are some disturbing things.
Totally accurate. And also, I think...
didn't realize that was the mechanic.
Same guy. Can't pull it off. Not with this equipment.
Same
Can't do
guy.
it. And this is a movie where somebody says the line, seriously, I'm just trying to figure out how to say something to you. That's a line that is said in this piece of garbage movie. It's really, really bad, and I'm sorry that for all involved. Let me apologize for him. It was not good.
The good news is up next is all the feels. Where we're talking about the feels. And listen, if any movie's going to give you the feels, it's going to be the one with the town called Christmas, Colorado, right?
Yeah.
I'll start. He has 2 daughters in this movie, I believe. One a teenager and one a little girl named Lily. Lily gave me the feels. Lily's love for Christmas reminded me of myself as a kid.
She's adorable.
Very excited about Christmas. She was a really sweet girl. I thought she was really, every time she was on camera, I was happy. And so, Lily, thanks for giving me those feels.
Thanks, Lil.
Good for you. Panda?
I actually liked the teenage daughter for the most part. I have some wait whats, but overall, I thought she did a really solid job, and I thought that her interaction with Madison in the movie, for the most part, worked.
Some
and I
literary wait whats.
There are some all sorts of Scrooge is flipping over in his doggone grave.
That's right.
But here's the deal: like,
By Scrooge, you mean Charles Dickens?
No, Scrooge.
Okay, all right,
Don't
good.
you question my literary prowess?
You go for it. You're good.
Scrooge is still alive.
Yes, he is.
Just like the
Scrooge
spirit of
McDuck.
Christmas.
What about Scrooge McDuck?
I love Scrooge McDuck.
Diving head first into the coins. That's got to kill you.
It will kill you.
That's one of my favorite Christmas
That's fact.
Sorry.
That's a fact.
All right, good.
Definitely. But Madison, big fan of Madison and the
You mean the older girl?
And the older girl, both.
Oh my gosh.
Dale?
Yeah, so same thing with the girls and the dad. I got to say, though, I have this thing about Hallmark movies. Eric Mabius plays a widower in this movie.
Yeah.
I'm 55. I've been all over the world. I maybe have met 2 widowers who were not 85. But in Hallmark, they're always in their early 30s,
prime.
and they're a widower conveniently. There's no
I will say
ex-wife.
this Hallmark movie has made me fear the loss of my wife.
Absolutely.
I
Well,
my insurance policy.
It's a rational thought. So I'm like, she's going to be dead. I'm going to be 30, and I'm going to be single with a kid, and I don't know what I'm going to do.
That will be a partner for next year as an insurance company.
The good news is once you get to like 42, 3, you're like, whew, off the hook.
You're off the hook. That's right. You're no longer starring.
Definitely not dying
No
now.
way she could die.
That's right.
The lead actor.
Yeah.
That said, the scene with Lily and her dad, where she says, "I wish you smiled more." The scene with Madison and Annie, where they're talking about the book, and the scene with Annie and her dad, where they're talking about the dead mom read this book.
Yeah.
All those are great. They do that all
kids
really
don't
well.
normally win for me in these movies.
But
For
this
some
one,
reason,
I
these
agree
kids,
with
these
you.
kids win.
Yeah, they were lovely.
Dan?
Yeah, none of the stuff you guys mentioned worked for me at all.
Shocker.
I have a really,
I hate the kid.
but no, I didn't say that.
The mechanic?
I have
gave you
a
feels?
little bit of an off the beaten path, all the feels, and I only give all the feels when I actually have them. So they do an establishing shot of Colorado and the Rocky Mountains, and they use the same shot twice in the film, as you can imagine. And the first time they use it, if you will look closely, there is a silhouette of Santa and his reindeer flying through the mountains. Very similar to the shadow of E.T. Legit, I rewound it, and I was like, that's Santa and his sleigh and the reindeer. And I was like, that is a really cool touch in a movie that's just bonkers anyway. It was cool. And then when they used the shot again, it's barely in the corner. Like they started the animation and then they didn't have time with the whole shot and they moved on. So that kind of ruined it a little bit. But like I was like, somebody took the time to go, this is an establishing shot. I'm going to throw Santa and his reindeer just to see if anybody notices. And I thought that was, it made me feel Christmassy.
Well, I'm going to go back and rewatch it.
My guess is that it's the stock video company that did that, but we'll give Hallmark the credit.
Let's do it. Editors, look, Randy Carter's listening.
Yeah.
And he
in those Hallmark style, because they use the same ones in different movies. I don't know. If you noticed.
yeah.
So I don't know if does Hallmark go out and get a bunch of these shots, or is it a stock video company like with the music?
Well, yeah, I don't know what it is, but I know that it was a nice touch.
Randy, call us,
Rand. Go ahead.
Guess on the line.
Before we dive into our wait, what we do have another partner that we've been talking about, and it is the American Leprosy Missions, and we're excited to continue our partnership with them throughout the rest of this season. And so, Dan, tell everybody maybe one more time. Maybe they're like, man, this is the time that I need in order to know where I can give.
Guys, you guys may have noticed that the tickets to our live show, which is in 2 days, our live show's in 2 days, were $30. And that was not a coincidence. We are not taking a dime from our live show, but in fact, one ticket to our live show was worth curing one child of leprosy. That's what that was. And so for us, this is something that our heart is really invested in. All three of the guys that do this podcast each and every week have given our business or whatever it is. We've not really taken a lot of money in, but what we've taken in through selling shirts, we've given some of that to American Leprosy Missions and to communities and schools. And so American Leprosy Mission is an organization that's housed here in Greenville, South Carolina, but its ministry exists worldwide, and it's very near and dear to our heart. They have one mission, and that is to end the world of leprosy forever, once and for all. And so your donation can help do that. We're happy and we're thrilled that you've given thus far and will continue to do so. You can go to deckthehallmark.com/miracle and you will have a full catalog there. Deckthehallmark.com/miracle. You'll have a full catalog of different options to give to help those that have been diagnosed with leprosy for cure and care and anything else that they may need. So thanks so much for being willing to give.
For $30, you can get a year subscription to Canada Mag.
Canada Mag.
Now,
I don't want to talk bad about the Canadians.
No, you should.
But if you have $30, unless you are a Canada-phile,
which most of us are.
I mean, come on. Yeah. Between the fur trade and the barren wasteland of winter, I mean, there's a lot there.
I will say that
and
when
Quebec
I subscribe to
Toronto.
Canada Mag, they have a great discount on mooses going on.
Yeah, but that's Canadian dollars, which is still more expensive.
You're right,
and so it's not as
they price themselves out for me. There was a buy one get one.
I do want to make sure it's moose. It's not mooses.
Nope, it's meese.
No, mooses. No.
Do you remember the
correct.
mayor of
Feel good about
Toronto
it.
from a few years ago?
Oh,
the
he
big
was
guy?
snorting the cocaine.
He was
yeah,
great.
Yeah, he was. This is a weird.
You can
bit.
read about him at Toronto Mag.
It's Canada Mag, or you
What
could
did I
give.
say, Toronto Mag?
You said Canada Mag and Toronto Mag. Yeah.
Well, they're the sister
Do you get both?
sister publications.
Is it like a
yeah.
Southern Living, Country Living
It
thing?
is. It is.
How about
It
just
is.
donate to American Leprosy Missions instead?
It's
How
time
about
for
do
what?
that?
It's time for what the Hallmark that's part of the show.
No, it's not. It's time for wait what?
What did I say?
What the
What the
Hallmark?
Hallmark?
They're very similar in stature. Wait, what is a segment of the show where we talk about when this movie made us go, wait, what? I'm going to start with you, Dale.
So I probably have two. My first wait what is really Aunt Nell. What does she do exactly? And she's the one who says, well, we could just keep her here. So I think she may run the school.
She's pulling the strings.
She runs the school to that creepy judge from the other movie
she
went
was
to.
the lady who kind of watched the kids in them as like after his wife died. But
But what does she
still
do
lives
now
there
exactly? She
Yeah.
still lives there.
We were never explained Gage's connection to her aside from that,
Right.
at all.
Right.
But
Calls
to
her
be
aunt.
honest with you, she needs to pull the strings because the mayor's a doofus who can't figure out how to use an iPad. But I want to point that out.
That's in my what the Hallmark.
I would say on the mayor scale, from 1 being the mayor in Northern Lights of Christmas, which we'll talk about later, to 10, there is no 10 in these movies. This mayor's like a 3 or 4. Not a good mayor.
Not a good mayor.
Not a good mayor.
a great one.
But now somebody has to pull the strings. But it is weird. Like unless she just the wind blew her in like Mary Poppins. I don't know where she came from.
She's very poppin'.
Yeah.
No. Well, maybe.
Mary
I mean,
Poppins
less
Returns
enjoyable.
opens today, guys.
Linda
It does.
Well.
She needs
Lin-Manuel
a hat
Miranda.
like Mary Poppins because her
That's
hair
right.
was messed up the
Yeah,
entire
it was.
show.
It needed something.
So after my wait, what about now? I'm going to leave the big wait, what about what the company is actually doing because I can tell Dan's already teed up for that. My other wait, what is when Madison arrives and doesn't know what county she's in. Right. She's a real estate developer who lives 4 hours away.
Yeah, come on
So
now.
I love that Gage has the funny line about you could know from a map.
Right.
But that is my wait,
Yeah.
what as a real estate developer. Buy a map of Colorado, understand the counties, the county seat, know who's giving you a tax write-off.
I would just kind of
That's a problem for me. It's county taxes.
let's take a quick vote. Who's worse at their job, Madison or Gage? Because Gage is never on the clock, and he's the sheriff, right?
And, okay, so my other wait, what about Gage? He takes his gun off and leaves it in the kitchen in the house with children.
That's right. Yeah,
Leaving
yeah.
the gun safe. So yeah,
Right
not
on the
sheriff of
counter.
the year.
And then Madison's a real estate developer that doesn't know what county she's in. They're both terrible.
They're
real
really
bad.
duking it out for
They are.
worst.
The Gage is worse to me, but they're both really, really
I
bad.
think they all have their strengths.
Okay. Yeah, you do. Of course you
Very
do.
Christmassy.
Yes. My ways what's are one, they play a game to pick the Christmas tree. And this game has some faults. So here's the game.
There are a few faults.
So you go and you have to say one of Santa's reindeer, and whoever is stumped first, the one that they're standing by, is the Christmas tree that you take home. So if you're very passionate about a certain Christmas tree, all you got to do is be like,
No. That's not the way I understood it. It's whoever the person before that, whoever gets stumped, the person before's tree.
That makes more sense.
Yeah, it still doesn't because there's only 9 freaking reindeer.
Right.
You just have to memorize the 9 reindeer.
Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, Vixen, Comet, Cupid, Donner, Blitzen, and Rudolph.
That's right. Just like that. And if you memorize those 9.
Or if you're Arnold Schwarzenegger and Jingle All the Way, Dasher, Dancer.
No,
it's great.
No, it's not a tumor. Here's the deal. Listen.
It's not a tumor.
Listen. Here's the deal. Little kindergarten cop.
Put the cookie down.
It's better than that Sinbad joint. I can tell you that right now. Listen. Here's the thing: is there's only 9 reindeer. So all you need to do is make sure in the rotation you're 9th, right?
Right.
Like if you're 9th,
and
that's
you get it right.
That's the end of the game. You pick the tree, you win. That's all there is to it.
So if there's typically the 3 of them going out, Gage,
that's right.
$2. So that's
make sure you're third.
Yeah,
and you win every time. Game's terrible.
It's not.
It's a bad game.
It's not a good way.
I have a legitimate question though. Have you noticed that no one ever uses Rudolph right off? Like that to me is a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Right?
I think
is it like trademarked?
Rudolph is the Pluto of reindeer because it's all like
whoa.
In certain circles, he is definitely still one of the reindeer. But in other circles, it's like he was only that one time, so he's not one of Santa's reindeer.
But Pluto is not a planet in any circle.
It is in mine still.
It's back as being a planet. Why don't you read a book?
It is not.
Spell it out.
I read the things. You're trying to really spell it out and make it a thing. He said it one time, and you're really trying to do it.
And then my last thing, and I'm sure that this is taking a little bit, but I don't understand exactly the type of breaks that the town can give in order to get the ski lodge. So what can Christmas Colorado do as far as breaks and incentives that Mountain Park can't do? I don't understand exactly.
I know this one. You want me to answer?
Yeah.
So I used to work in state government.
I love it.
States do give tax breaks. So they will usually through a legislative action allow a company not to pay sales tax at the same rate that you pay, or they will forgive property tax rates. So they can actually give tax breaks. What that looks like in Christmas.
I love that both of my wait what's were answered. This is in a perfect world.
I mean, you did it, and I will say that's why. Like,
I can't help you with Pluto though.
For the when they made Breaking Bad, like Vince Gilligan wanted to film it in New Mexico because he got a bunch of tax breaks.
Right.
Walking Dead in Atlanta, Georgia, same thing.
And these movies in Canada.
Yeah,
for example.
Yeah,
I get that
really
from the
tax.
I think it was the real estate part that I didn't totally get.
Yeah. Well, I just didn't just in general. Like, I just don't understand the transaction that's taking place. Like, I get the fact that if you build a ski lodge, there'll be more jobs, and how that's bad for the community. This is a weird bit where it's like.
Yes.
Do we want to continue to suffer but have the jobs that we love with the people we love and never invite anybody new into our town ever again? Or do we want to what is job creation? And that's a different conversation for a different podcast.
The suffering is all self-inflicted because they stopped doing the Christmas things.
Yeah, which is that's actually going to be one of my big what's. But I think at the end of the day, the decision doesn't make any sense at all. But we'll get to
Dan, let me just go ahead and take it.
So basically, the company announces that they're just going to support the town of Christmas year round with.
Right.
What? I mean, yeah.
With the fact that they're not going to build a ski lodge there? It's somehow everybody in all the executives get together and they go, what if we just give them money?
Yeah.
Now, why would we give them? We just do it because that's the right thing to do. And then Larry gets to keep his barber shop and, everybody gets to keep all these things.
It seemed as though they were trying to play it's going to be a Christmas town all year.
Yeah.
But as we know with Christmas stores,
that's right.
No one's in them in May.
No.
You don't go to Christmas Colorado in May to have Christmas fair. I do. I would.
Not many people are going to be listening to our podcast January 20th.
I'm not. I'm not listening to it now.
That's right. so that does have its own set of problems, but also it's just not within the confines of what would be a normal business activity.
It's stupid
for anyone to just go. What if we wrote them a check because their name's Christmas?
Right.
Oh, all in favor? Do I have a second?
Yeah. That's how you go out.
That's right. And I will say this, and this is really the crux of all of my wait what isms. All of it is right here. This is a town named Christmas that has gotten away from the traditions.
Yes.
Let's just embrace that for a second. You got one job, Christmas. You got one job. Your town's name is Christmas.
One of which is just putting up lights.
Yeah, and that's
it. That's the tradition.
Here is this. This is it. I'm just going to trace the Festival of Lights which is a Christmas tradition in this town, from beginning to end. They've gotten rid of it because it's so darn expensive. lights and whatnot.
Switch to LED. Switch to LED.
Well, the sheriff is in his house and he's like, don't touch that thermostat, the power bill. Every light is on. Every light's on. Neither here nor there. So then they're like, all right, Madison's in town. We're keeping her in town. Mechanics line. We got to figure out something to do. And so they're like, we're going to do the Festival of Lights. And then they have this weird conversation in front of her where they're like, it's a festival where you don't need to make it up. Yeah. You've done it before. And then they're trying to like sneakily put this up. It's not a surprise. Yeah. Like everybody's running around like they're carrying strings of lights like they're a halfback and a play action pass. And it's like, look, Madison knows the Festival of Lights is coming, but it would not be.
I think it had to be with the timing, right?
Even if they didn't say it, it's a town called Christmas in December.
Yeah.
People are going to be carrying lights.
The only thing that would be unusual is if you look at someone that looks like they've just stolen lights, which is what happened. And then they get to the festival, and look, I'm not an electrician. Like, I'm not. I would never claim to be.
You're not a light boy.
I'm not a light boy. Having said that, I can guarantee you, I'm willing to go all in on this. It is easier to just hook an actual button up to the lights than it is to Sergeant Bilko it, to just time it, where it's like when she hits the button, we'll plug in the lights. Why are you doing that?
Can I tell you, this is how mine works. I'm also not an electrician. So I've always assumed that that's what's happening in every movie. Like, I don't think that the things actually, the buttons and the Christmas tree levers and stuff, they don't do anything.
Buttons don't work in Hallmark.
So I appreciated the behind the scenes, like, this is how it actually
But it was like,
works.
look, we're going to trick her into thinking this has been planned all along. Like, just hook it up to the lights. Like, it's not difficult. There's not like, you just plug it in. Like,
I got one of those foot stompers from my Christmas tree. You just kind of bloop, and it comes on.
That's what a foot stomp sounds like.
It's a weird. Bloop.
Yeah.
Did you do it all?
That was two. I got more.
No.
Okay. Making sure.
First of all, the one tradition we have to go back and we have to talk about is the ornament hunt. Because I have all sorts of questions. First of all, I want to point out just the painfully obvious. It's not a great idea to hide ornaments.
No.
First of all, they're glass, and there's going to be somebody who steps on it sometime.
Yeah, that's right. There's going to be a pet that thinks he's found a ball.
Yeah, and there's going to be kids crying.
It's going to be a child. Yeah, it's going to be a mess.
It's just a tragic thing.
Yeah, not good.
It's bad. Second of all, along with the ornament hunt, they make, if I'm not mistaken, hundreds of ornaments in less than a day, make a trophy for it, and then manage to hide them all over the town.
I just want to know who hit them. That's all I want to know.
With coupons attached.
Attached. That is the most impressive thing I've ever seen, but the timeline, it just goes to show you, this is a movie that the timelines often don't work in Hallmark movies, but is especially egregious in this film, the timelines.
Sure.
The second thing just drives me absolutely crazy in Hallmark films. When parents cut their kids off in the middle of a really heartfelt conversation, they're like, time to go to bed. It happens all the time. It happens all the time, but this dad is the king of it.
Yeah.
They're in the middle of something deep. The daughter's opening up, and he's like, oh, man, go to bed.
That's right.
It's just...
That's right. It happened in Christmas at Graceland.
Yes.
She comes out, wants to play the piano with Kelly Pickler, and she's like, "Sweetie, go to bed." and then at Christmas Joy or Hope at Christmas, one of the bookstore, and she's like, "Mommy, it's Christmas break. Can I stay up and read?" And she's like, "No."
I think we're all praying each night that we can go through our whole lives without having a real conversation with our kids. And so the minute my son comes and tries to talk to him, just say, hey, you're ruining a good thing. You're ruining a good thing.
If Hallmark taught me anything, it's don't take your car to the mechanic and don't let your kids tell you anything.
Yeah, just don't.
Yeah, for sure.
Live by. Exactly.
That was great. Good job.
Thanks.
Yeah.
It's time for What the Hallmark, the part of the show where we wonder maybe what could have happened or what happened before. That would help give us a little clarity about the questions that we still have. And I'll start with where I left off with Panda.
The biggest one for me, obviously, has got to be what's going on with the company, the ski resort. They're changing their entire program. And I know we've already established that, but I want to point out also that are they actually switching industries here, like investing in towns? That's my big question. Like, what is it that they're actually doing? How do they make money? I mean, I know we talked about it. I just have to. It deserves mentioning again. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah. It's dumb. Like, let's give them money. Well, how do we generate? No, we just give it to them. They change their town's name to nope.
No,
we give it away.
Any sort of ski. Can we give them this snowmobile? No.
Ski Christmas.
Cash.
No,
Yeah, just cash.
So is Madison staying in town?
Yes.
She is. They said
From
that.
what I gather.
Yes.
I don't remember them saying that.
I believe she said that she's going to be heading up
that's right.
the west, southwest, something or other.
No, that was a different movie, the Midwest branch outside of Detroit.
It's the same thing.
Say for the big corporate giveaway.
Okay.
She's going to be
fair enough. All right, then I have two. First of all, I do have a lot of budgetary concerns that the town, whoever's running the town's budget, I've got problems everywhere. But the main one is this: the money that they use to put on these old traditions again. Okay, that are lights and it just ornament hunt, easy stuff. The ornaments, not so much. The money was originally supposed to go to police cars, which, and I'm not trying to tell you what's more important, but police cars are more important. They are. It's important that policemen have the ability to do their job. We
can put it off another year.
We need a fake button for these lights. We can't buy a new car. And that doesn't line up either. So I've got budgetary questions. And second of all, I'm a little worried that this new town slogan isn't as good as the old town slogan. I think.
Can we pause on the slogan? Because actually, I'm just going to continue.
So
if you could, this was going to be my way one. It's just a little bit of a different one. So they finally got a new slogan, and it's fine. Their old one was Santa's second favorite
city, which I got no problem with.
Yeah. If you were in the slogan making meeting, what slogan would you have pitched for Christmas, Colorado?
Christmas, 'tis the season, every season.
Ooh,
okay,
that's good.
Okay, yeah, beat that. Let's go.
I'm not sure I'll be able to. Christmas, welcome home.
That's terrible.
To Christmas.
That's really bad.
Dale, you got one?
Well, I'm from Nevada, so I'm going to go because they can't let this woman leave. It's going to be like what happens here stays here because you never leave Christmas. I'm going to tie those together.
Yeah. What happens at Christmas stays in Christmas.
Literally.
It stays here.
But you can't fix
There's no cell signal. There's no nothing. It's just you and the lights and no police cars.
Christmas, Colorado. When it's hot outside, it's still cold in here. Something like that.
Wow, we should all keep our day jobs.
Yeah, that's right.
Fine, Dale, you can get it. And Dale, you want to close?
Yeah. So my what the Hallmark has to be Rachel. She runs the B&B. She hates Madison because Madison ends up with Gage.
And she kind of had a thing with Gage.
Oh yeah, and she's got the eyes for the whole thing. But they didn't really introduce
that until halfway through, and so I was like, who is she?
I have lots of questions.
Believe it or not, it was
Rachel.
half-baked.
I'm very worried if Madison does stay in this town. If she stays in that bed and breakfast, it's a flowers in the attic situation. Her donuts
it turns into a Lifetime movie.
Yeah,
I love that. She was the one.
She
was the one that found out about the whole Denver job.
Right.
And she and it didn't really work time wise for her to be like, what about the Denver job? But she did it anyway. What about Denver?
That's right. Yeah, I got to put this in. I got to wait for the perfect moment. I'm just trying to. What about Denver?
What if we got a Christmas movie next year from Rachel's point of view, same thing, and it's called Christmas Disengaged.
Yeah.
Oh, I like it.
Christmas Neverlasting.
Welcome. Okay, I can't do it.
Santa's Second City, murder.
When it's cold here, it's warm there. Guys, that was Welcome to Christmas.
Oh, we did it.
Oh, my goodness. Dale, thank you so much for joining us. Tell everybody one more time maybe where they can go to find out about communities and schools. And maybe, are you on the socials and stuff?
We are. So you can find Communities in Schools on Facebook and on Twitter. And you can find it at deckthehallmark.com/joy. As Dan said, we have a match of $50,000. We're hoping to get all of that money in December. Our folks are going on Friday night to your live show, so we support your other partner. But on behalf of the 1.5 million kids that Communities in Schools serves across this country, thank you for being our partner this holiday season. Yes. You've made it a very, very special season for all my kids.
Awesome. That is so just cool. Does my heart good. Really does. Guys, thanks for listening. Come out to the live show. Have some hot cocoa with us. Rate and review us. Keep listening to us the rest of the season.
We got episodes coming out through Christmas Eve, and then we'll take a couple
Christmas
days
is so close you could taste it. So let us be not the first, but not the last to tell you.
Merry Christmas. Colorado.